The imperative for Reckitt Benckiser is to continue to understand that consumer in terms of what are the kind of germy situations he or she will get into the mind of that consumer, understand that consumer, and then provide those products which will be relevant for them. For example, over the years, over the last decades, people wash their hands sometimes, and there are enough studies which say that not everybody washes their hands when they should. But we realized that the consumer was looking for that convenient way to, get rid of the germs before she goes and eats, or the kids go and eat, or after using a toilet, etc. So creating those products, all under the overall halo of germ protection, that's something that we've done. Or, for example, the various variants of the bar soap that we've got. The woman is looking for that little nourishment and, the creamy and so on and so forth. So we've got various variants on Dettol bar soap and so on. So as I said right in the beginning, I think Reckitt Benckiser's hallmark is innovation and renovation. So innovation in terms of new products, new categories, etc., and renovation of our existing brands.
But if I look at a brand like Cherry Blossom, which has completed more than 100 years, it has remained solid and stable, but one doesn't see a lot of renovation or innovation there. Why is that?
Good question. I think as far as shoe polish is concerned, there are various kinds of shoes that have emerged. In the good old days, there was only leather, and you could talk about black, brown, or neutral. So therefore, there is new innovations only in terms of the format of delivery for the leather polishes.
In the last 10 years, you've introduced two brands in India, which India hadn't seen. In 2004, you introduced Wheat, and also you've introduced Vanish in 2005. For a company your size, which has dozens of brands across the world, 10 years, only two brand launches, is that a bit conservative?
No, I think, let me put the facts right. It's not two, it's 5. So we've introduced Wheat, as very rightly you said. We've also got, over and above the two brands that you talked about, we've got Easy Off Bang, we've got Airwick, and we've also got Finish, the #1 global player in terms of dishwash. Now, the 4 brands that I talk about have seen a lot of investment. As far as Finish is concerned, which is dishwash, we just started the journey. And you'll see a lot more action because, it's lifestyle, it's influencing lifestyles and what consumers are finally looking for.
So if I could come to each of these, what was the imperative that helped you decide on which product and brand to launch in India?
I think first and foremost, Reckitt Benckiser's strategy is very clear that we have 17 power brands globally. All 17 will come to India, there's no question. It's a question of putting a certain sequence. It's a question of understanding that consumer, what is the right time to enter. Because one of the imperatives is that we will not launch a product if we have not understood the consumer. We will not launch the product if we are not going to invest behind the brand. And therefore, we first came with Wheat. Again, a category where depilation has been there, and it's been there for many, many years. No action was happening in that market. All I can say is that in the last 4 years or 5 years that we introduced, the market has quadrupled. And like everything else that we do, we are the brand leader now.
How many of the 17 power brands are in India currently?
10.
10. So 7 to go.
Yes, certainly.
Okay. We're taking a short break here. We come back and we talk to Chandramohan Sethi, the Managing Director and Chairman of Reckitt Benckiser, and talk to him about the last 2 years, how the downturn was, how did the company manage the slowdown, if at all, and what was the impact on the company, and what's the way ahead. Stay with us. We're talking to Chandramohan Sethi. He is the Chairman and Managing Director of Reckitt Benckiser, the company that makes very powerful brands like Dettol and Cherry Blossom. Chandra, last 2 years or more have been fairly tough for all companies. How has Reckitt Benckiser faced the downturn, if at all, in consumer sentiment? Of course, a lot of the products that you make are those which consumers don't really give up.
To say that it has not been tough would be not honest. To say that it's been impossible, no. I think I think it's a question of attitude. It's a question of understanding what is the objective and where do you want to go. In Reckitt Benckiser, we never say die, and we are used to fast growth. We are used to innovation. We are used to thinking out of the box and acting out of the box. I think the results of the last 2 years have been as good, if not even better, than the previous 2 years.
But what happened? Did the sales go down, or was there a difference across the different categories? You are present in categories from fabric care to surface to home care and pharmaceuticals?
No, the sales did not go down. As I said, the last 2 years were even better than the previous 3, I would say. I think what I'm talking about is a lot more focus, a lot more innovation required in terms of the geography, in terms of distribution, in terms of much better thinking in terms of consumer promotions, improving our communication levels, and of course investments behind the brands. So a lot more competition from two ends. One is the top end, if you might call the